Send your wives to Target, put the kids to bed, and flip on some football.
It's garage time. We are back. A little bit of a hiatus. Life gets busy. Kids get busy. Spouses get busy.
Yeah, life gets busy.
We're always
like
busy.
June, July, October. Those months are just...
Did you miss the other couple months in there? That's how busy we are.
Yeah, I mean, those months aren't so bad. But yeah.
So, Kyle, there was a trade today in the NFL.
There was. Now, we are going to go back and do something that we did a couple of episodes ago, but I will say that we did this before the trade. So
Yes, I finished mine about, 9:30 this morning, I think?
yeah, I think we finished them probably about the same time.
So we did power ranking.
There was a joke there that we could have made, but we're not going to make it. Anyway, so we finished about the same time. And the Browns traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals.
Yes.
Which I don't hate. I think it's safe to say that at this point we know who Jake Browning is. We obviously know who Joe Burrow is because that team's completely different without him. I'm okay with it. I didn't change my rankings because these were done before that. Man, I wanted to see Jameis Winston.
I did, or Russell Wilson.
Or Russell, yeah.
I would have been happy with either one of those. Yep.
But Flacco's a good fit, and I don't know if it's going to matter.
Probably not that division.
I was going to say, that division's still so tough.
Yep.
But, hey, for what they got, I think it was Joe Flacco and a 6th rounder for a 5th rounder. So,
something like that.
Yeah, can't hurt. And we'll talk more about the Bengals during this.
Yep. So, we're through 5 weeks. So, everybody's sitting at 2-3, 4-1, 1-4, whatever the hell. So, we are doing week 6 power rankings going into week 6. We're going to start at the bottom, work up. But before we go there, who was your biggest move up?
Okay. So we did this in episode 22, which is before the season started. Anybody that's watched since then already knows what I'm going to say. My biggest mover up was the Colts, and I am so sorry, Daniel Jones.
Yeah, it kind of had to be for you.
Yeah.
All right. My biggest move up from what it looks like, I told you it's going to be a surprise, the Patriots.
Okay.
Oh. And the biggest move down, have the Ravens.
That's fair. So my biggest move down, and one of the main reasons I didn't want to redo my rankings, is the Bengals.
They
just free fall. But Ravens were close.
Yeah.
So
shall we get going?
Let's get going.
Pick 32, Miami Dolphins.
All right. I got the New York Jets. So they're the only 0-5 team.
That's true.
Okay. They're going nowhere. They don't have an identity. They've played a couple of games close. The Steelers come to mind. I will say, though, they're 0-5, and when I looked at their record, I'm not making any defense for them, but they lost to the Steelers, the Bucks, the Bills, and the Cowboys. That's a pretty rough start to the schedule, considering most of those teams are in the top half of the league. So they could turn this around. But where they're at right now in the season, I have them at 32. Week 1, I had them at 28.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a drop there.
So I have the Dolphins mainly because I think they're 1-4. Oh, yeah, 1-4. And they really haven't had that tough of a schedule, in my opinion.
Right.
According to the Jets. And obviously losing Tyreek, they're not going to get any better now. That offense is probably going to go pretty stagnant. So, yeah, I kept Miami down.
I will say, when I went through this, because we both talked about that this was pretty difficult. So I meant to say this ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
There were 3 rules that I tried to follow, okay? I tried to look at their record. You're the only 0-5 team, you're probably last place in the league. I tried to look at statement wins, because we had a lot of them this past weekend.
Right.
But I tried to look at big losses, too. Did you lose a game that you shouldn't have lost?
Right.
That factored in. And then, I know this is kind of wishy-washy, feelings, whatever. I really looked at potential because there's some teams that have a very bad record right now that I think are going to turn it around.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So,
and speaking on that, so we both agreed that numbers 5 through 10 were kind of the hardest.
Yes.
And I also struggle with like 14 to 18. Like that middle of the pack of somebody that I didn't want to drop too far, but didn't want to put them too high. That was
Yeah.
tough.
It was.
You know, and I had a very couple, and I'll hit on those. Some teams I did not know where to put.
Some teams, as we move forward, I'm going to say there's a lot of people that are not going to agree with.
Yeah.
But this is where I was at. So,
All right, so 31, I have the New York Jets.
okay. 31, I have the Tennessee Titans.
The reason I put the Jets is for what you talked about.
Yeah.
They played a very tough schedule, very close. You know, they're one piece away from maybe winning a couple of those games,
Right.
and pulling out some very big potential upsets. You know, so I was like, I don't want them to do the worst because they're playing a tougher schedule than Miami. Miami's schedule super easy. Should have won a couple games. The Jets not so close.
So I have the Tennessee Titans, and to start the season, I had them at 29, so a little bit of a drop here. They're 1-4. I actually took the time to look up ESPN's strength of schedule so far. The easiest schedule in the league was the Titans. So they're 1-4 with the easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah.
They have not been competitive. Cam Ward has been struggling, maybe starting to turn things around. They just beat Arizona, which is not a whole lot to say. But if you go back and you watch the last part of that game, Arizona beat themselves.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, you had the fumble at the goal line. You know, you had
The fumble at the goal line again.
the fumble at the goal line again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona beat themselves in
Yeah.
that game. I can't give that to Tennessee. If it wasn't for the fact that the Jets were 0-5, this would be the bottom team in the league.
Okay.
Easy. So,
Number 30, I have the Cleveland Browns.
okay. So, number 30, I have the New Orleans Saints.
Whoa.
For a lot of the same reasons. And this is hard because I tried not to be biased on what just happened, right? Because they played a good game on Sunday.
Yeah.
But they're 1-4. Their only win is against the Giants. Malik Neighbors went out. The Giants haven't exactly been playing great ball. I don't think Spencer Rattler looks good. I would imagine by the trade deadline, this becomes a team that there's some pieces that go away.
Which we've already talked about one
Yep.
today. Alvin Kamara.
I don't believe they're in a division that they're not going to catch up to. So
Yeah, no.
for me, the Saints just look like another team that's lost. And the funny thing is, I've got them at number 30. To start the season, I had them at number 30. So they
Oh,
just
wow.
haven't moved.
So that's the one that hasn't moved. I have one of those as well. I have Cleveland at 30 just basically because they're a dumpster fire. They played one really good game. But now, after this trade, they have Dylan Gabriel and Sherrod Sanders as their QBs.
Right.
So they're probably not going to go anywhere in a tough division. You know, I had them in the beginning of the year at 32 because of their win, and they beat Green Bay, right?
The Browns, yes.
Yeah.
They beat.
So they beat Green Bay week one.
Mhm.
You know, it was week one, but that's a tough game. I mean, Green Bay's playing really well.
They
so you know, I feel like they would deserve to be bumped up a little bit.
So that's what I was going to ask. You know, you had them at 32 to begin the season. Do you think they improved enough to jump 2 spots, or did Miami and New York play bad enough to just get worse?
Oh,
Or
so
a combination.
speaking of that, I mean, I had Miami at. I mean, what are the Dolphins? I had Dolphins at 31. That the Jets at 29. So I put those two below.
Okay.
So I feel like to me, yes, they were playing terrible.
Yeah.
The Jets beat a very good, or the Browns beat a very good team. So they deserve a couple spots for that.
I like that. Now, I do think it's crazy to think about because I don't know that we've ever seen a situation like this that's so noticeable or so popular. We've talked a lot about how Cleveland drafted 2 rookie QBs, which we hardly ever see.
Yeah.
That either one could really compete for the starting job. But
now.
It's especially weird because those 2 rookie QBs are their QB room.
Yes,
you know?
and to me that's awesome. But
Yeah.
yes, I read it earlier. I don't remember. They have one more guy on the.
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no, they have another one on their practice squad.
Well, they got rid. On the practice squad. I was because they got rid of Huntley and they got rid of Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other one was, but
So
so who was your 30?
my 30 was the Saints.
Saints. Yeah, you
Yep.
talked about it. So 29, Tennessee Titans.
Okay. 29. I've got the Las Vegas Raiders.
Ooh.
So this is going to be unfair for the Raiders when I say this. I had them at 24. They dropped 5 spots to 29. They're 1-4. Ashton Jeanty has not looked amazing except against the Bears. Their 31st rush defense.
Yeah.
He has 349 yards in 5 games. He has 2 touchdowns, some receiving stats to go with that. Geno Smith is leading the league in interceptions, and their only win came against New England, which is solid, but I just don't feel like they're competitive. And again, in a division that is going to run away from them, they're going to be left behind.
Right.
I mean, they're easily Chargers, Broncos, Chiefs. They're easily the weakest team in their division. I don't see them going anywhere.
You're probably right about that. I put Tennessee at 29 for pretty much all the reasons you put them at wherever you put them.
31.
31. So,
Yeah.
I just feel like they're not the worst team out there. There's a couple that are a little worse, And to me, I mean, I dropped them one spot. So,
And I do feel like we should say, because I kind of said a lot about it when I talked about the Titans, but now that you brought them up again, I'm not saying by any means that Cam Wood is a bust.
no.
So don't get me wrong.
Yeah, nobody to throw to.
Yeah, this far into the
Ridley's been hurt
season,
off and on, right?
Right.
Yeah,
this far into the season, he's just struggling.
Right.
But I'm, they're a young team. They can turn this around. So they've got a killer coach. I
Yeah.
mean, love their coach.
Yeah.
So they could turn this around.
At 28, I have the Saints.
Okay. At 28, I have the Cleveland Browns moving up from 31st in my original rankings.
Wow.
And the reason I did this, Flacco looked decent. You know what you've got in Flacco. He's not going to hurt you. He's going to make the passes he has to make. The rest of the team kind of has to play ball too.
Yep.
I do feel like watching them in London on Sunday that Gabriel brings something else to the defense, to the offense, and I also feel they've got a very young core. When I was looking, they've got 5 rookie starters on offense. They've got 3 rookie starters on defense. So very young team.
Yes.
I do think at some point in time we probably see Sanders, because if you're a coaching staff, you want to know which one of these QBs is
Yeah,
a QB
you
of the
have to
future.
do the why.
Right.
I mean,
It's a lost season, probably. So at some point, you got to try out both QBs.
Yep.
But because of potential alone, when I look at the teams that I put below them, Raiders, Saints, Titans, Jets, I feel like the Browns could start to build something here.
okay.
So,
I respect it. So I have the Saints at 28 for the same reason you had them lower. I just feel like the ones I put down at the bottom are the worst ever. So
they're pretty bad.
27. This is the one that I had that went no move.
Okay.
So my 27th ranked in the preseason to now is the Raiders. They have
Okay.
not moved.
Haven't gotten better, haven't gotten worse.
Yeah.
They're kind of right where you thought they were.
Yeah, I wanted to move them down. This was one of the picks I struggled with because, as you said, they didn't do anything. But they're right where I expected them to be. So
Yeah.
I was like, you know what, leave more of that.
That makes sense. So 27, I have Miami. And it's kind of a lot of the same thing you said. I had them at 21 early in the season. We talked about I expected them to drop, and they have. With Tyreek out, just like you said, they beat the Jets. That's their only real win that they have. They're 1-4. They lost to several teams that I have in the next several picks. So in my mind, I can't move them up because they lost to those teams. I start to wonder at some point, do you take a look at Quinn Ewers?
Why wouldn't you?
I mean, you're 1-4. Tua, we know what we have. He's healthy this year. Yes, Tyreek is hurt, but Tua's healthy for now. Do you start to look at the next guy up?
Oh, before we get too far away from Miami, we have to talk about it. Darren Waller.
Yeah.
Dude's been balling out.
Yeah.
Like retired, came back, single. Probably playing better that,
Well, and that guy's just a freak of nature.
Yeah, he
I
is.
mean,
And I got to watch him a little bit more because they just played Carolina over the weekend.
Right.
So I watched that entire game, and I was impressed with how well he was moving.
oh, yeah.
I mean, he was moving really well. So
I-
off topic, but my bad.
No, you're right. I honestly think that, no disrespect, obviously the offense runs through a chain. We know that.
Right.
But Waller looks like their best receiver, which
Yeah.
is saying a lot when you have Jalen Waddle there.
Right.
But, yeah, I look for Miami to just stay just about here or continue to drop in these rankings. So,
Moving into the 26th spot, so this is a drop for me at the Arizona Cardinals.
okay. I have the Carolina Panthers, which is one spot further than I had them in the original ranking.
Yeah!
So they did enough to jump a spot. Carolina Panthers, Bryce Young is not really getting it done.
Trash!
61% completion rating, averaging 190 yards a game, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They beat Atlanta 30-0. They beat Miami, but who fucking cares?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, they beat Atlanta 30-0, which was kind of impressive.
Yeah.
They beat Miami, so does everybody else. Other than that, man, they have not looked good.
No. I put Arizona down there. They haven't done hardly anything. I had them at 24 the preseason. Now they're 26. A little bit of a drop because I expected them to be more competitive than they are, and they haven't been. I mean, part of that, Connor got hurt, but Connor got hurt, and you don't have anything coming in. Like,
Right.
you didn't play him very well. That's coaching. That's playing. Whatever. And why are we not using Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Well,
Like,
right. And especially, I mean, James Conner is no young pup.
right.
Like, you knew sooner or later you had to have a backup plan.
Exactly.
So, yeah, some of this is on coaching. And especially, we talked about earlier, they beat themselves on Sunday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I completely agree with the Arizona pick. In fact, at number 25, I have the Arizona Cardinals.
At 25, I have the Carolina Panthers.
Which is, that's funny. It's funny because you said that you dropped the Cardinals 3 spots. And so the Cardinals, or 2 spots.
2 spots.
You dropped from 24 to 26. I had the Cardinals at 23 and dropped them to 25.
Okay.
For a lot of the same reasons. Honestly, in my opinion, they're lucky they're not lower because that loss to Tennessee is completely inexcusable.
Yeah. So I had Carolina at 21 at the beginning of the season. I thought they'd play a little better with a weaker division. Obviously, we did. We throttled Atlanta. And then, as my Facebook status said, in the first half against Miami, Bryce Young played like shit. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm ready to move on. Hats off to Rico Dowdle, though.
Yeah.
That dude came out of nowhere. I'm hoping that means we have a 2-system back now. Chuba comes back. Dowdle carries the other. See what happens. I don't see them doing anything this year. Bryce Young's just too inconsistent.
And I think, as far as Carolina goes, some people are going to argue that he doesn't have weapons. I feel like he's got a decent core around him. I mean,
Ted is proving that.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Ted's not doing too bad. He's setting all kinds of franchise records for rookies, which people are going to say it's not, but we had Steve Smith. So,
Right. Something.
Yeah, that's one of the best receivers. I mean, Hall of Famers. So, yeah, no. So, that's my 25.
Yeah, and like I said, Arizona, there's not much left to say. They should be competitive. Some of this is on coaching. A lot of this is on Kyler Murray. But that loss to Tennessee is, I'm sorry, you can't get over that.
No.
I mean, that's one of those losses. And there were a lot of upsets this weekend, which we'll get into. That loss, there's no reason for it.
Yeah, no,
like that.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Especially when it's 2 stupid plays that shouldn't have happened.
Right, exactly. It's mental errors that you can't have. So.
At 24, I think this is my first time of bringing in somebody new that we haven't talked about yet.
Okay.
I have the Atlanta Falcons.
Solid. I have this was one you talked about the Raiders. This was a hard one for me. At 24, I have the New York Giants. And
wow,
part of the reason that I feel that way, I had them and this is what's hard. I had them at 22 to start the season, so I actually dropped them. They're 1-4, man. They're 1-4. And
they're playing great.
Malik Neighbors is hurt.
Yeah.
They just lost to the Saints.
Yeah.
They beat the Chargers. I'll give them that. That's a solid win. I'm not going to count what happened with Russ because it's a different quarterback, different system.
Okay.
The offense with Russell Wilson is different than the offense with Jackson Dart.
I give it to you.
Dart is now questionable. Neighbors is hurt. They're 1-4. They just lost to the Saints. I want to see them move up, and they have a ton of potential. But in the 2 games that you're basing this off of, I don't see it yet.
Yeah.
So.
Damn. Yeah, I like it. Wow. So, the Falcons, I have them at 24. They have not done anything. I actually had them, what did I have them? I had them at 25. So I put them up a little bit. They've been playing a little better than I expected. They're starting to use all their weapons a little bit.
Finally.
And it's not really turning into wins yet, but the offense is going to get going. I feel like they're going to – this is me and my potential teams to go up at the Atlanta Falcons. Mm-hmm. They have all the room to go. So very curious to see how they keep moving on. Obviously, a lot of us in panic can stay healthy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I think, and we can just have this conversation. 23, I have the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
So
so-
just paying off of what you said, young offense, they're starting to use Bijan Robinson. They're starting to use Kyle Pitts. They've got speed with Mooney and London, and they lost to Carolina 30-0. I don't understand that at all.
That was a fluke. I mean,
It's just
it was a fluke.
crazy.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will give them, they're 2-2, and this really affected me later in the rankings because I could not move past this. They beat the Commanders, and they beat the healthy Commanders.
Yeah, yep.
So I had them at 26. I bumped them up to 23 since the start of the season. I think they're moving in the right direction.
Yeah.
Same thing you said.
I would have to agree with that. Now, 23 is my first big fall.
Okay.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay.
So, I had them at 10 to start the season.
Yeah.
So now they're down to 23. This is a team that's going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
When your wide receiver leads your team in tackles for the week, yeah, that's wrong.
It's totally wrong.
Yeah. Like I said, I made this before the Flacco trade. This is one of the reasons why I was like, yikes. You
Right.
know, but is Flacco really going to help him out that much
I don't think. I mean, they're 2-3
in a tough division?
in a tough division.
You know, and they won both of those games before Burrow went down, correct?
Right.
So that's why I tried to look up, making sure I knew when Burrow went down. So Burrow missed one game so far. But you're in a loaded division without your superstar quarterback. You haven't played well at all. I mean, the games you've won, you've had to shoot out or get lucky.
Right.
So, not very good. And they haven't really played the people they should be playing well. You know, that's the issue. So, Cincinnati at 23.
I agree with that. In fact, at 22, I had the Cincinnati Bengals.
Whoa, look at that.
Also, my biggest fall, and this one is a doozy. Before the season started, I had them at 7, and now I have them at 22.
Wow. Mine was
and
13, so. Yeah.
Other than what you said, all I can say is that Joe Burrow, dude. Without Joe Burrow, this team is lost.
They are, and it's proven. It's proven every time he gets hurt. Like,
Yeah. And I know that Joe Flacco will help some.
But they don't block.
Right.
He's going to get broken in half on his first drive.
Exactly. They don't block. He's old. I still don't trust the defense. I don't trust the defense. And I just really tough division. As long as Burrow's out, this team is trash. And that sucks because I don't want to be the guy to say it, but Burrow gets hurt a lot.
Yep.
So,
Enough of that. We've already beat down the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's not do it anymore.
who day?
So, 22,
Who you got?
Chicago Bears.
Okay. That's fair.
They just had not played up to any expectations at all. Part of that's the injury starting out the year. They played some tough games. I won't take that away from them. But what are we doing not using our weapons correctly?
Yeah.
Mainly, I'm pissed off because you're not using DJ Moore. Like, if you're not going to do it, send his ass back to Carolina.
Right.
We'll give you a 9th-round draft pick because you guys aren't using him. So just give him to us, you know? Like, and in a division that's been kind of lopsided, you know, like some teams are winning games they shouldn't be and vice versa. Chicago's just not doing what they should be doing. Really, I mean, they're on that verge. I think there's another little bit of potential here. I don't think you're going to see them up in the top 15 this year. They got a tough schedule, second half.
They do.
So,
Yeah, they have a tough schedule, and I mean, I'll probably say a lot more about them later. By the way, I forgot to mention the Bengals had the second easiest schedule
yes,
so far,
yes.
and so did the Giants were third. So those were your easiest schedules: Titans, Bengals, Giants. No, I agree. The Bears, they've looked rough. They've got some good things coming for them. I've got them a little bit higher, so I'll talk about them here soon. But I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
So,
At 21, I have the Houston Texans.
wow, I'm really surprised by that one.
I wouldn't have them lower.
Okay.
But they played very well against Baltimore this last week. So I'd
yeah.
put them up, you know. I mean, when you win 44-10 or whatever against the Ravens, you deserve a little respect. They just haven't done shit, honestly. Like, I had them, let's see if I can find them here. I had them at 11, you know. I had high expectations for these guys. They've kind of shit the bed.
Yeah.
So here you go. You know, you're lucky you're not lower.
So I have at number 21 the Vikings.
Okay.
And here's my thing with the Vikings. They are scrappy. Like, they looked pretty good with J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
And early in the season, I'll admit, I disrespected J.J. McCarthy. I had them lower than maybe they deserve to be. But he's out. So he's out. Aaron Jones is out. Carson Wentz hurt his shoulder on Sunday. He came back into the game, but if Wentz is out, they are fucked.
Oh, yeah.
They have one quarterback left on their roster. Surely they signed somebody, but they have one more left on their
Yeah.
roster. They're scrappy, but they're barely winning games. I don't know what this looks like moving forward, especially if Wentz gets hurt. I just don't know how they move forward. A ton of potential for this team if they were healthy, but they're not.
Yeah.
So I dropped them. They started at 18 in the season, and I'll admit that was low, but they're at 21 now.
All right. Last one of the 20s. I have at 20 the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow. Okay. Go ahead.
Another team that's underperforming drastically. I mean, I had them up at 18, so I dropped them too. Wasn't high on them. This is a team that year in and year out looks great on paper and can never put it together. For whatever reason, they're not doing all the things I expect them to. You know, that's a tough division. I get it. But they're playing some games that they should have won by 40.
Yeah.
And they're barely doing something.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I just don't like them. I don't like the way they're playing right now. They won last week, but I felt like they should have won by more. You know, like
And we talked about this at the beginning of the season, but I'll go as far as to say that I could see by the end of this year Dallas being the weakest team in that division.
yeah,
So yeah, no, that makes sense
I
to
think
me.
they're the weakest team in that division already.
I think the Giants have more upside. So I think the Giants' ceiling is higher. They just haven't got there yet. But the Commanders and, obviously the Eagles are way better than the
Oh, yeah,
Cowboys.
right,
So at 20, I had the Bears.
That's
So
fair, yeah.
I dropped them. I had them at 17 to start the season. Huge expectations as a Bears fan. I will say this. They're 2-2. They won their last two games. So they beat the Raiders. They beat the Cowboys. Caleb Williams has shown a little bit more of that toughness in the last two games than what he did previously. And that was one thing, if you go back and watch the previous episode, I was really concerned about with him. But played great against the Cowboys. Everybody does.
Yep.
That Cowboys defense is terrible.
Yep.
Against the Raiders, he had to make a fourth quarter comeback and looked good.
Yeah. Yep.
He is actually, they had a bye week last week. Before the bye week, he was tied for the league lead with touchdown passes. And Rome Odunze is leading the league in touchdown receptions.
Yep.
So they're not using all their weapons the way they should. They're using one pretty good.
Yeah.
I would like to see DJ more involved. DJ more involved. I'd like to see Luther Burden more involved. Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland. There's so many weapons on that offense.
There really is. Yep.
But yeah, which one are they? Are they the 0-2 that started the season, or the 2-0 that played the last 2 weeks?
So let's go on this a little bit. Like, you're 0-2 to start the season. All new coaching staff from like head to toe.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about wide receivers, special teams, O-line, D-line, head coach, obviously, learning a new offense. You're going to have some hiccups.
Yeah.
They played, and this is one of the reasons why I want to drop Dallas. They played really well against Dallas, who should have smoked them.
Right.
Dallas should have beat the Bears by like 20.
And the teams they lost to were the Vikings and the Lions.
Right.
Which,
In division games.
right.
And Minnesota had to scrap to win that one.
Yep.
Lions are one of the best teams in the league. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so like I said, we'll see. They could go either direction. But for right now, I dropped them a few spots because I don't know where they're at.
All right, number 19. My biggest drop.
Okay?
Baltimore Ravens.
That's completely fair.
So they were my number 2. So at number 19, 17-point drop. And here's the issue. Everybody's saying, oh, they don't have Lamar. Lamar doesn't play defense.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? They allowed 44 freaking points to Houston. That defense is supposed to be really good. Like, I thought that was one of the best defenses in the league, top 3 at least. Mm-hmm. And you just allowed Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud to go off on you.
I heard a stat today that they have allowed more points in the first 4 games of their season than the 2000 Ravens did their entire season. Which speaks a lot to Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and all of those guys.
Right.
But still,
Yeah.
oof.
Yeah. And the thing is like, you put Lamar in there instead of Cooper Rush, do they allow 44 points? Maybe not, because Lamar maybe doesn't turn the ball over as much, or
Yeah.
they keep the ball a little longer. But you still did it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if this is the Cooper Rush Ravens, this is where you belong. Number 19. Prove me wrong. Climb back up.
So,
Oh, and fuck Derrick Henry. Cost me like $4,000 on week 2, and he decided not to run.
so at 19, and quick thing, this is a 6-point jump for me. Okay,
Oh,
so they
shit.
moved forward before anybody gives me shit. 19, I have the Patriots. Okay, and I'm gonna eat crow a little bit here. I had them at 25 to start the season. They've
Okay.
proved me wrong. They're better than I thought they were gonna be. Drake May looks awesome. Arguably,
Yes.
Drake May is the quarterback of that draft class. We're not there.
Been saying it.
We're not there to say it yet. Not yet, but it's looking like it. Here's my thing with the Patriots. They beat Buffalo. Awesome win. Statement win. They barely beat Miami. They lost to Las Vegas, and they lost to the Steelers.
Yes.
The Vegas loss really bothers me. Miami damn near beat them, and that bothers me. I think this team continues to climb. I think that a 6-point jump in a few weeks is a great jump. This is a team that's trending up, but this is where I got them right now.
I like it. I respect it a lot. So, what one were we on? You had them at 19?
Yep,
Okay. No.
18.
18, Minnesota Vikings.
I think we reversed these picks. At 18, I have the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
I think we had them in opposite
I think
places.
so, yeah. Only reason I put Minnesota that high is because they've been scrappy.
Yeah, and
They really
have
have. Like I said, 14 through 18 was my second one. Minnesota was one of those teams I didn't know where to put.
Yeah.
Because I started them out at 9. I was like, they don't deserve to be in the 20s. They put up some pretty hellacious games against teams. They're scrapping. They're right there. I'm with you. The injuries might keep them out, but you can just never count the Vikings out.
Right.
Like, the Bears had them beat, and then they rallied back. So Minnesota's a scrapper. 18 for me.
And I think a lot of that goes to their coaching.
It does, yeah.
So I respect that. I have the Cowboys for a lot of what you said, and the Cowboys this year are what the Bengals were last year. Honestly, their offense is doing the things they should do.
Right.
Jake Ferguson arguably is making an argument for the best tight end in the league.
I agree.
He looks amazing. CeeDee Lamb is out. Their offense is still clicking. George Pickens looks like a good addition. Dak's not afraid to run, which in previous years he kind of stepped away from. But that defense is terrible. And it's the same way the Bengals were last year. It doesn't matter how many points you score. The Cowboys don't feel safe because the defense can't stop a nosebleed. So for right now, I've got the Cowboys at 18. And they haven't even really played division games yet.
No.
I think once they start playing division games, the Patriots are trending up, the Cowboys are trending down.
Yep.
So
17. Now, here is one that's going to piss a lot of people off.
all right, I'm ready for it.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh wow, that is a fall.
So I had them at 5, dropped them to 17. You suck. And the only reason I'm not putting them lower is because they're the defending champs. Or they're defending Super Bowl. They've been in it for 3 years in a row. Like, they've done everything. They're not terrible. They're just past the prime of whatever Mahomes was.
Yeah.
They're past it. They're still trying to do the same things. It's not fucking working. They're not trying to change up their offense. They keep doing the same shit. Mahomes is finally not getting calls of the refs have been giving him for the last 5 years.
Right.
Yeah, like, welcome to the NFL. This is the way the other teams are getting treated. It's about time. Okay.
So I think we're starting to get to a point that ours are pretty similar. The 17, I have the Texans.
Okay.
Dropped them from number 12. A lot of the same reasons as you. Now, are they starting to turn things around? I don't know. Like you said, they beat Baltimore. Great. Back up Baltimore. A lot of teams have beat Baltimore this year, even with Lamar Jackson in.
Yeah.
Their other win is against Tennessee. I don't care.
Yeah.
But my thing when it comes to the Texans, and the reason I can't drop them lower, they're 2-3. Their 3 losses are Tampa, the Rams, and the Jaguars.
Right.
So
Very tough.
very tough schedule. I don't know what this team is. I don't know. I'm not comfortable saying they're one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not comfortable saying they're one of the best teams in the league. They are somewhere in the middle of this pack, and I don't know which way they're going to go. This is a team that really confused me.
Yeah.
And I think it matters a lot. You know, we talked about it's time to see which C.J. Stroud is the real C.J. Stroud, and I still don't have an answer to that.
No, I'm with you on that. Stroud's been up and down, inconsistent. A lot of that has to do with his wide receivers always being hurt, his running backs always being hurt. When your weapons are in and out of the game, it's hard for you to get consistency.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a little bit on the weapons. But you're also an NFL quarterback. You need to figure out how to play ball. You know.
Agreed.
So 16. This was probably my hardest decision to make.
Okay.
Where do I put the Seattle Seahawks?
16, I have the Seattle Seahawks.
Nice.
I also struggled. I was like, I don't know where they're at.
Yes.
They're 3-2. They've played some tough games.
Yes.
They've had a tough schedule. They still have Sam Donald. I don't.
Yes.
It sooner or later the wheels fall off. We see it every
Exactly.
year.
Like I literally the same shit. Like I was like, okay. So I had Seahawks. This is my first team moving forward.
Okay.
I had Seattle at 23 to start the season. They proved me wrong. They jumped up to 16.
Okay.
They played really well at some instances. You see Sam Darnold, the Carolina Panthers, Sam Darnold at other points. So I don't know what's going on. I really thought we'd see Jalen Milroe by now. We haven't. Why would you?
Yeah, I mean,
Love the way JSN is playing.
Yes.
He's balling out. Did not expect that. I figured when they traded DK, he wasn't going to be able to be a true number one. Still don't understand what's going on with the running back situation.
I think Kenneth Walker loses his job.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know
Though?
that. That's the thing. I don't know that Charbonnet deserves to take it, so I don't know what
That's
you
what
do.
I'm saying. Like, so that's one of the reasons I had to keep him down. Like, I wanted to put them up by the 10 spot, and I'm like, they don't really deserve it.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
I moved him up a little. I had him at 19. I moved him to 16. Like you said, they played Tampa Bay. They damn near beat Tampa
Yes.
Bay. They lost to San Francisco, but they played them close again. It was a field goal difference. They are 7 points away over the course of 2 games from being 5-0.
Exactly. Two teams that potentially are top 10 teams, top 15 teams, you know, so.
They beat Arizona. They beat the Saints. So what? They beat Pittsburgh. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I still feel like we see the same thing every year. Sam Darnold starts off looking amazing and then crashes down to earth. We know who he is at this point.
Started 4-0 in Carolina, so.
Yeah. Look at Minnesota, you know. By the end of the year, faded off. I think the wheels fall off of them, but I'm willing to move them up for now.
All right, at 15, I think this is going to take some people by surprise. That's another one of my moves up. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
I had them at 20 to start the season. Had them at 15 now. They've done some good things. Really shocked by how well Aaron Rodgers is actually taking care of the ball and playing at 41 or whatever he is. You know.
Yeah.
Big on Tomlin. Dude never loses. Figures out how to have a winning season every year. I'm kind of liking the way DK Metcalf is playing with Pittsburgh. He got that chip on his shoulder. He's a big dude. He's running fast. Pissed off that they're not using Caleb Johnson more.
I don't understand why they're not using Caleb Johnson more.
I don't think Warren's doing all that great.
No.
But they keep using him. Whatever. I'm not the coach. I don't know what's going on. And the defense is finally on making plays.
Yeah. And I think, you know, I said at the beginning of the season, I think this is a team with solid defense and a solid run game. They could do well. So I don't know why they're not using Caleb Johnson.
Yep.
That 2 running back set, I feel like they could be better. I respect that. My number 15 hurts. It hurts me because I feel like they're better than number 15, but they haven't shown it. So I have the Los Angeles Chargers. And
Wow.
I think they're better than that, but you beat the Chiefs. Great. I will give them credit. They beat division rivals. They beat the Raiders. They beat the Broncos. That's
Yes.
exactly what you need to do. They lost to the Giants. They lost to the Commanders. Those are both good teams. But I thought they were better than this.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to be one of the top teams in the league. Their offense, when they beat the Chiefs, looked amazing. And against the Commanders last week, they didn't. They didn't look good at all.
Nope.
So,
Hampton's out.
yeah, Hampton's out. I don't know what to think of this team because, and honestly, What other team besides the Chargers? Because how many times over the years did we look at Phillip Rivers, we looked at LaDainian Tomlinson,
Right.
and we said, this team is going to be amazing. And they made it to the playoffs and never did anything.
Right.
So I guess that's just the Charger way. But for right now, I've got them down here. I need to see more out of them. And I hated to drop them, but I did.
I respect it. All right, so 14. This is another one moving up 5 spots for me, which upsets me that you put them as low as you did. New York Giants.
Okay?
So obviously, huge on Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
By far the best quarterback in the class. I thought so. Love that pick. Love how Scatterbo's playing. He's doing everything I like to see in football.
Yeah, he does.
I think I'm doing player bias with this pick. Very well, possibly true. How can you not be excited for what this New York Giants defense is doing? That front line is one of the best in the league, in my opinion. They're just trying to figure out how to work together.
Yep.
Obviously, player bias again. And Brian Burns from Carolina had been traded over. He's excelling. Dibbs, Abdul Carter, Lawrence. I mean,
Neighbors hurts.
yeah. I think they'll get past it.
Yeah.
I think so. They're gonna start. They're in a tough division. They're not gonna win the division at all. I don't expect them to do that. I could see them getting that last wild card spot though.
I could see it. I think, and I agree with you, there's huge potential for the Giants. I think the main thing for me is I kept getting hung up on their 1-4 record.
Yeah.
But part of that's on Russ.
Right.
So, yeah, I agree. And I think where you have them in a couple of weeks is going to make perfect sense.
Right.
Like, everybody agrees with that. That was 14?
14. Yep.
So I have the Rams. They move up 1 spot. I had them at 15. They took the 49ers all the way to overtime. They had some great wins. They beat Indy. They beat Tennessee. They beat Houston. So apparently they really like kicking the AFC South's ass. They got real close to beating the Eagles. And there's no consolation prize for losing, but they got close there.
Right.
Stafford is leading the league by a lot. When it comes to passing yards, he's almost 200 yards up on the next guy. He's got 11 touchdowns, which is leading the league. Puka Nacua looks great. Kyron Williams is playing well. Division looks kind of soft. We've already said we don't know what to think about Seattle. San Francisco has surprised me. Arizona is trash. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have them right here. They're knocking on the door. Could they easily go backwards? Yes. Could they move up? Also, yes. I think the more we see them play, the more we're going to know which way this needs to go.
Yep. I like that. Very, very good points with the Rams. I like what you're saying about them. Moving on to number 13. This is actually this team is following one. I had them 12 in the year. They're following one. That's the Chargers.
Okay.
They played some pretty good stuff. They've done some bad stuff. All in all, they're right around where I expect them to be. Well, I'm leaving them 1 spot down. I don't want to say that their season's getting to be a failure yet. It's trending that direction. You know,
Yeah.
I expected them to be competing for the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the wild card spot, playing better. Herbert throwing for 4,500 to 5,000 yards. Quentin Johnson's proving me that he's actually might be able to catch a football now. Didn't expect that. Thought Lad McConkey would be more used, but he's kind of splitting it between them. So the Chargers are doing everything I think, so I'm just dropping 1.
Okay. So this is another team that I think will move up. I've got the Broncos here. So the Broncos, I had them at 16. I've moved them up to 13. Here's my thing. Their statement win, they beat the Eagles. Great. Here in a little bit I'll talk about, these are not the same Eagles. Like the Eagles, when I talked about the Seahawks are dangerously close to being 5-0, these Eagles are dangerously close to being 1-4.
Right.
So that's a great win. The problem is their other 2 wins are Cincinnati and Tennessee. So they haven't had a great schedule yet. They were real close. They lost by 1 point to the Colts. I do think that Bo Nix looks great. Not as good as I thought he was going to look. The Chargers, the Chiefs, they're not doing well. This division's kind of up for grabs. And honestly, if you asked me to put $50 on somebody right now, it would be Denver to take that division. I need to see more, though. The Eagles, quality win. but their other 2 wins are the bottom of the league. So
Okay.
give me a couple of weeks. I think these guys move up.
All right, number 12. So I was actually wrong in my statement earlier. This team is actually my highest move. I did
Oh.
not realize that till now. From number 30 to number 12, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Number 30. Damn.
I had no faith in them. None at all. Like, they can't put anything together. And what are they, 4-1?
Yeah.
After beating the Chiefs, which, by the way, how the hell do you not stop Trevor Lawrence when he falls down twice?
I
Whatever. They're doing everything correctly. They're playing hard. They're playing well. They're doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to show up on Sunday and compete and get a win.
Yep.
And they're doing it. I like the way they're going about it. Kind of liking Liam Cohen as their coach. Like, he's all fired up. He's having fun.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you ask for in football. Like, now, I wanted to put them in the top 10, but like, pump the brakes. They really haven't played anybody that much yet
Yeah.
outside of the Chiefs. So I'm like, I didn't want to go too far. Maybe I did. I don't know. But number 12, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. Number 12, I know this has been bothering you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if this doesn't turn around, this team blows up, right? At number 12, I have the Ravens. Here's my thing. They're 1-4. Their only win is against Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay. Schedule, a little bit tough. Okay. They've lost to Kansas City. Fine. They lost to Detroit and they lost to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Even healthy, that's a tough schedule.
Yeah.
Here's the only reason I didn't drop them lower. I looked ahead at the next couple of weeks. And this is why I say if they don't turn it around now, I'm losing faith.
Right.
3 of the next 4 games are against the 32nd, 31st, and 30th ranked rush defenses in the league.
Oh,
So,
no,
and
I'm not
that's
going.
Chicago, Miami, and Minnesota. Obviously, Lamar Jackson's going to be back. That rush defense is going to help there. But with Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, I feel like playing those terrible run defenses are going to help them right the ship a little bit. And if it doesn't, I'm done with them.
Okay.
You know, they dropped all the way from number 4. Probably should have dropped further. I feel crazy having a 1-4 team in my top 12, but I really hope this is the part of their schedule that they get to turn it around.
All right.
That's
I dig
where I'm
it. I like it. Number 11, this was probably one of my harder ones to figure it out just because I don't think they've been treated fairly.
Okay.
Washington Commanders.
Yeah, that's a tough team.
I had them at 6. They're not playing well, but they're not playing terrible.
Right.
Everybody else is playing better, so dropped them down to number 5. Losing Jaden Daniels hurts. I get it. Like, they're not the only team that's lost a quarterback, you know. So I don't want to be too sympathetic on that. I still think they're going to compete and win.
I think so.
You know, like they're still there. They're still tough. You can look at them like, all right, they don't have their quarterback, but everything else is still good. Their defense is phenomenal. Their coach is great. So they're a tough team.
They are. So number 11, I have the Chiefs. And honestly, the only reason I have them here is respect for the coaching staff, respect for what Mahomes can do. They have weapons, but wow.
Respect.
I mean, they beat the Ravens. Well, I mean, you got to respect Andy Reid of anybody.
That's
but
why I guess they're not outside the top 20. but-
Exactly. So they beat the Ravens. They beat the Giants, which I feel like that matters. Also, why the hell do they keep getting primetime games? Every week is a Chief primetime
Yeah.
game.
Well,
But
they're America's team, probably. I don't know.
fuck that.
The Swifties.
They do have the number 1 toughest schedule.
Yeah.
So, according to ESPN, they've had the toughest schedule so far. With that in mind, it's great to see Mahomes spreading the ball out to Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, everybody. But why the fuck are they not using Pacheco? Why do they not run the ball?
I don't understand it.
And the other night when they lost to Jacksonville, I guess that was last night, how the fuck do you not run the ball? I mean, I just don't get it. This kid, he's played well every time you've asked him to play well. He has 24 yards rushing in a close game. I mean, I don't know what the hell they're doing. And this is another team that if they don't turn it around fast, they could miss the playoffs.
Yep.
So forget wild card. They could be all the way out of this.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, they're 2-3. I started them at number 5, dropped them out of the top 10. They got to turn this around.
All right, so we're going into the top 10. These next 5 were the hardest ones to make.
The next 5 were the hardest part of this whole thing.
Yes.
And yeah,
So my number 10, I was high on this quarterback. I wanted Carolina to go get him. He is showing me that he's a young Josh Allen, the way he's playing. That team's getting fired up. The coach is going to carry them to a postseason berth. That's going to happen. Number 10, New England Patriots.
okay.
That they are getting back to a different kind of vibe outside of the Brady Belichick dynasty, and I'm all for it. Gibson going down with an ACL is going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got Trayvon Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson. They're going to fill that void. Steven Diggs is starting to actually play pretty well. Drake May, loving the UNC product, killing it out there. Exactly. I said he was the best quarterback in that draft class. I wanted Carolina to go get him. Patriots are getting him, and he's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do.
I like it. I mean, I can respect that. Like I said, I think I gave him a big jump. I would imagine by the next time we do these power rankings, they're jumping a lot.
Yeah.
Especially all the teams we just talked about. You know, Houston, Seattle, Baltimore, Kansas City. If they continue to fall, this team's jumping.
Right.
I'm more comfortable with this than I was at the beginning of the season when I had them at number 8. I have the Green Bay Packers. I still feel like they're a strong team. They lost to the Browns. That was a hiccup.
But the 4-1 says.
They tied the Cowboys,
Wow, that's
which
true. Yeah.
that game was incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, awesome, honestly.
Yeah.
But my thought here, and really I could have moved them up, is they beat the Commanders and they beat Detroit.
Yeah.
So I like where they're going. The only reason they dropped out of the top 10 is because the teams that I have in front of them are playing better. It's not anything they did wrong. Daniel Jones, I'm coming, dude. It's coming, okay?
All right, number 9. This was the second hardest one for me to pick this week. The LA Rams.
Okay.
I had to dig into a deep dive to their schedule because I obviously don't want to just look at stats. Like you mentioned, Stafford, Puka, Kyrie Williams, they're all playing great. Look into that defense.
Yeah.
They are scary. Jared Versey, who I said in our TikToks, was one of the guys that's going to have a breakout year, is killing it.
Yeah.
That whole defense is phenomenal. They are playing in probably a tough schedule. I mean, they're losing games that I expect them to lose. They're winning the games I expect them to win. But they're scary. Like,
They are.
you flip a quarter, because let me know which one they're going to do, because you can't count them out. They're going to be there. They're knocking on the door of winning that division.
Yeah. And they need to.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're probably getting to the point that window's closing.
Yes.
So, no, I like that there. You know, like I said, I've got them several picks back, but I think they're trending in the right direction. That was your number 9, right? Mm-hmm. At number 9, I have the 49ers, and I feel wrong about this. In my head, I don't think they should be here. They're 4-1. You can't discount that. They beat Seattle, fine. They beat the Rams, okay. They beat the Saints and they beat Arizona, fine. The only team they lost to was the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, I mean, they lost to another 4-1 team. Again, division very soft. They've done this with multiple injuries, in and out. Kittle, Purdy, finding a way to win. CMC, this is crazy. CMC is 6th in the league in receiving yards, but 21st in the league in rushing yards.
What the hell?
So that part's kind of crazy. This is another team, they deserve to be in the top 10 based on their records so far. I don't know if this is sustainable, and maybe it is, but a hell of a hot start, honestly. So I've got them at 9. I started them at 14. They bumped up into the top 10.
I like it. All right, my number 8 is the 49ers.
Okay.
Specifically going off what you just talked about, they have a very good coach that has a plug-and-play system. Take out 7 starters and let me know what other team continues to be 4-1.
Yeah.
The answer is 0. I mean, they're playing well. I mean, they're not beating teams that are powerhouses, but you're out your starting quarterback. You're out your starting wide receiver. You're out your starting tight end.
Yeah.
You put in Matt fucking Jones.
Who balls out on Thursday night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, yeah, mad respect, I was going to put them lower and put the Rams ahead of them, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
they
couldn't
beat
put
the
the Rams
Rams.
ahead of them.
I mean, they beat the Rams.
Yeah, so I had to put them above the Rams. I think between the Niners and the Rams, that's who's winning that division this year.
Yeah.
Seattle's going to be sleepless in Seattle and maybe come back and get it.
Nice. Very nice.
But, no, who's your 8?
My 8, there's one other team in the top 10 that I guarantee I'm probably going to regret. But if it wasn't for that team, it would be this one. I have the Steelers at number 8.
Okay.
They're 3-1. Their only loss is to Seattle, who's playing great ball, and that was a close game. Wins, nothing crazy. They beat the Jets, they beat the Patriots, they beat the Vikings, so nothing substantial. But this is exactly what Mike Tomlin does. He finds a way to win. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers looks good in that offense. DK Metcalf looks good in that offense. I wish they would use Caleb Johnson more. I think a 2-back system would work great between Caleb Johnson and Warren. I think they bring different things to the table.
Yep.
But the main reason I've moved them into the top 10, when I started the season, they were at 11, and I moved them into the top 10 because the rest of that division is in free fall. Cincinnati's falling, Baltimore's falling, Cleveland doesn't know where they're at right now. This is Pittsburgh's division to lose.
I had that whole division in the 15 and lower.
Right.
So
my thought is, if you have a team that pretty much right now you go, wow, this is really their division to win, they should be in the top 10.
Yeah.
So
okay. Mad respect. I like it. Shouting out Caleb Johnson. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 7. This is why your pick surprised me on these guys. I have the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
Actually started them at 13 in the year. Yes, they lost to Cleveland opening the season. But since then, it's been a whole different team. Jordan Love been balling out. As you mentioned it, the game against Dallas, that was one for the ages.
Oh, yeah.
Hate that we tie in the NFL. I think it's stupid. Literally start just kicking field goals until somebody misses. I don't give a shit. Put defensive ends against each other and let them hit it. I don't give a shit. Find a way to make it not tie. Bullshit. But they're doing everything well. They really are. I know you don't like to hear it. That's a rival for you. But Green Bay is on that verge of now or never, in my opinion. Like, if Jordan Love doesn't win, you got to find out if Jordan Love, is it the coach? Is it, defense, which you just grabbed Parsons? So that tells me they're trying to win now. So
the only reason that I have these teams ahead of the Packers is when I talked about a statement loss. These other teams, 5 through 10, for me, don't have that statement loss. So I had the Packers at 10, 49ers, Steelers, number 7, I have the Jaguars.
Ooh.
Which I would have never expected. Actually, no. Obviously the Colts are my biggest mover. Sorry, that was a mistake. These guys would be my biggest mover if not for the Colts. I had them at 20. They're all the way up to 7. They beat the Chiefs, which was huge. They beat the Panthers. Okay. They beat Houston. And they beat the 49ers. They're the only team to beat the 49ers. Their only loss is to Joe Burrow. Not the Bengals, Joe Burrow.
Right.
I think they are playing some great ball. I don't know that a lot of that has to do with Trevor Lawrence.
Honestly, I get it.
I think their running game is great. I think their defense is playing well. I think they spread the ball around well. But for right now, they're right there fighting for this division. So, and honestly, fighting for the AFC. What are they? 3-way tie for the top of the AFC right now.
Yeah.
So,
and all right, number 6, I have a feeling we're tying on this one.
Probably.
Colts. Yes. Yes.
Consider
As
this
somebody who had them up there in the year. Yes, I love it.
Consider this my apology to Daniel Jones. I had them as the worst team in the league at the beginning of the year. Okay. Their only loss is to the Rams. I can't knock them for that.
Yeah.
Main issue with them, I'm respecting them. They're at 6. Don't come after me. They beat Miami, Denver, Tennessee, and Las Vegas. They really haven't had a tough schedule yet. But God, Jonathan Taylor looks great. MPJ looks great. Daniel Jones is playing well. They're well coached.
You're missing out on the big one.
Go ahead.
Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren is
Their tight
playing
end.
great.
He is phenomenal.
Yeah. This team looks like they're for real. I mean, honestly.
Where it came from, I don't know. I had him 15 start the year. Moved up 9 spots for me. But, so you're talking about the loss to the Rams. I expected that. You know, like,
Yeah.
That's a tough team. You beat the Broncos. Didn't expect that.
No,
You
I
know.
didn't see that either.
But this is a team to me, like, you are doing what you're supposed to do, and you're doing it well. You're winning the games, and you're winning them big. You beat Denver, which was great.
Yeah.
The Rams could have won either way. I would have thought it would have been a little bit better, but not terrible. And you're doing it with Daniel freaking Jones. Mad respect. Love where it's going.
And I hate to say, obviously, we're not going to see anything out of Tennessee. And I said earlier, I don't know where the hell Houston is at. So this division really comes down to Jacksonville or Indianapolis. I am riding with Daniel Jones and the Colts. I think Trevor Lawrence is still struggling, and it doesn't show. They're 4-1, but
Well, you take out a fluke fall twice that nobody gets to him.
Yeah.
Chris Jones ran the wrong way.
Chris Jones did nothing on that final play.
Like he ran the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like so, love to see it. That's 2 of them we matched up on this week, which is way better than I thought we were gonna do.
I don't think we will the rest of the top 5.
No, I don't think so. Not possible. Number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right.
Baker Mayfield and company doing everything they can to keep playing well. I had to keep them down because I like the top 4 better than I have.
Okay. This is a big one for me, and I might have fucked up, and I'm willing to admit that. I thought that Jaden Daniels was coming back, and at number 5, I have the Commanders.
Holy shit.
They're playing good ball.
So you moved them up?
They were at 6. I moved them up a spot.
Okay.
They're 3.
Okay.
They're 3-2. They beat the Giants, which I think matters. They beat the Raiders, fine. They beat the Chargers, which I think is a
I got to
big
point
deal.
something out here. You keep saying everybody beating the Giants, which matters, but you mad disrespected the Giants.
I think they're scrappy.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
put it like 24 or
They're
something.
1-4.
But you're giving everybody credit for beating them.
Yeah, because I think it matters more than beating Tennessee or beating the
Well, yeah,
Raiders or,
but
you know.
every team you're like, oh, a very good win, Giants. Very good win, Giants. It's like, Jesus. Like,
That's true.
no, just had to give you a little shit.
The only losses they have are Green Bay and Atlanta.
Yeah.
And
The Atlanta was
Atlanta-
that's the one Jaden Daniels got hurt in, right?
right.
Exactly.
So it's hard to shift that in the middle of a game.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially that dynamic. Who is their backup?
Fuck, I don't remember, dude. I was looking earlier, but
Fuck. Yeah. So what happened there was that Jaden Daniels got hurt pretty early, if I remember correctly,
correct.
and they had a lead, I think, at the time, and the backup quarterback blew it. I could be wrong. I feel like that's the way that game went.
No, he is back.
But
Jaden Daniels is back.
the game he lost was the game he got
Right.
hurt was against Atlanta.
Right. I was thinking for some reason he was still out. So no, I'm good with this pick.
Yeah.
I
So,
could-
no, it's a solid pick. I don't hate it. I mean, I dropped him out of the top 10 because I like everybody else in the top 10 better. But
The main reason why I still have them in the top 5, they're going to win this division.
I'm all for it. Let's go.
I'm just saying.
go.
This is their division to lose. Dallas is free falling. This is what I really wanted to say, and this is the part that's going to get controversial. Dallas is free falling. The Giants have to build out of a hole. These are not the Eagles that we've seen in previous years. I think the Commanders win this division. So
I like it.
if
I like
this
it.
is if there's a pick in the top 10 I catch shit for, it's this one.
Number 4, I'm gonna catch so much shit for this. Denver Broncos.
Okay.
I know they had a terrible loss to the Colts, but the Colts aren't a bad team. They
They're
really
not.
are. And Denver is playing exceptionally well. I think Bo Nix is playing great. You know, I would look at his wide receiving core and I'd be like, I would take any of you.
Yeah.
And he's still throwing the damn ball and he's still getting things done. Super shocked we're not using RJ Harvey more. I thought he would be getting more touches. Non-existent. So that defense is what's carrying this team.
It is.
It's a very, very, very good defense. I think at the beginning of the year, thought they'd be the number one defense in the league. Uh, Obviously, they've only played 4 or 5 games, so it's hard to say they're not. Very small sample to go by, but no, I think Denver is the one that's going to take the AFC West and knock the Chiefs off their throne.
And honestly, I probably should have had them higher because the whole argument that I made against the Steelers is if I feel like somebody is for sure the division winner, they should be in the top 10.
Right.
I should have had Denver in the top 10.
Yeah.
Because I think they win this division for sure. Number 4. I started this season off saying that you are the best until you're not. And the Eagles are lucky they're at number 4.
Okay.
The only reason that I have the Eagles at number 4, they finally got knocked off. Denver beat them. I wanted to drop them further. I didn't because their wins are against Tampa, the Rams, the Chiefs, and Dallas.
Right.
That's a pretty significant group of wins.
It is.
But this team is lost. Like a week ago, they didn't throw the ball at all in the second half,
Right.
and they won, but they didn't throw the ball at all. You got your star receiver complaining of, wanting to trade because he's not being utilized. The very next week, you flip it around and you throw like crazy. For the first time in Jalen Hurts' career, he threw for over 45 attempts, but you don't run the ball,
Right.
and you lose the game. And there's no balance. There's
Right.
no identity. They change week to week, and some of that may be game planning, but they look lost. And the best receiver on their team is Devonta Smith. And I will say, the end of that Denver game, the best defense that I saw played all day long was A.J. Brown on Devonta Smith. He knocked that ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
So they very easily could have beat Denver with that Hail Mary, if not for the fact that A.J. Brown tackled Devonta Smith. But I would not be surprised if they continue to trend downwards. I just feel like they're lost, and the things that worked for them, the tush push and everything else, outside of that, there's not a lot going for this team.
Yeah.
And their defense that helped them so much last year lost some of its bite.
Right.
So I've got them at 4.
Number 3, I think we're tying on this one.
The Bills.
Bills.
There we go. We got another one.
Yep. I had the Bills at 4 to start the season. They're trending up because obviously Josh Allen doing what Josh Allen does and somehow is winning games. I don't get it.
Another person that we said would break out this year was Keon Coleman, and he's
Breaking out.
breaking out. So
But no, I like everything that Buffalo's doing. Defense is starting to fly around a little bit. Josh Allen's playing crazy good. He's going to keep playing that well just because that's who he is. But you have to wonder when the schedule they have is going to come into play on this. I think like in the middle of the season, it gets tough for them, and then it drops back down. So this next time, if we do this in week 12, if we stay with it, the Bills could drop. To me, the Bills could drop. That could be the biggest faller if the way it's going.
the Bills are one of those teams. They're 4-1. Obviously the loss to the Patriots was huge. Their wins are not great. They beat Baltimore, so is most other teams. They beat the Jets, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Saints. I'm not really impressed with any of those. They are a team that year after year find a way to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. They don't have a talented roster. They find a way to win games. They find a way to be there in the playoffs. But sooner or later, I could see them dropping down. And that sucks to say because I think they're a great team, and I love Josh Allen. But I haven't seen a lot out of him this year.
And another guy we need to talk about, James Cook.
Yes. Yeah.
He's been a pretty good backup to Josh Allen in the running game, I should say, which is weird because he's the running back.
Right.
But I like it. I like seeing what he brings to that table behind Josh Allen because that makes it kind of a dual-headed thing, though. Like, between years as a quarterback and running back instead of 2 running backs. But, yeah, no, he is running hard, and he's doing everything he's supposed to do.
And the resurgence of Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox has been helpful for him.
Yes.
So, I think number 3, I'm solid. I had him at 2 to start the season. You had him at number 3, right?
I had him at number 4.
You had him at number 4, so they moved up one spot.
Yep.
Okay. Number 2
Here's Tampa, isn't it?
is Tampa Bay.
You haven't talked about him. I was like,
Yeah.
it has to be.
Number 2, give me Tampa Bay. In fact, give me Baker Mayfield for MVP.
Oh, baby.
Take any other player in this league besides Joe Burrow, obviously, and remove him and watch the team change more. This team rides on Baker Mayfield. Every game is close. Every game is won on Baker.
I'll give you that. You know, he didn't have Godwin.
Yep.
Got Godwin back last Evans.
Right.
But let's talk about his rookie wide receiver.
Yes.
I can't say his name, I don't know how to pronounce it. But
Buku or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Baller.
Cute. Yeah.
Baller. And, like, what is going on? Like, Baker Mayfield literally was hurt, got up, talked shit to C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who then ended up getting released.
Yeah.
Like, that is the Baker Mayfield effect. Here's what I'm pissed off about. Is where the fuck was this when he was in Carolina? I wanted Baker Mayfield. I loved him. He was fun. He was a dog.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's doing it. I'm with you. I have Tampa at 5, so, you know.
Here's what I'll say about Tampa playing the devil's advocate. They're 4-1. Their only loss is to Philly.
Yeah.
That's a respectable loss. The teams they beat, yeah. Seattle, okay. The Jets, the Texans, the Falcons.
Yeah.
Not a real strong schedule, but it's said over and over again. Good teams find a way to win.
Right.
The defense is keeping them in games, and when push comes to shove, Baker Mayfield is coming back and winning the game for them.
Right.
So,
And that's the thing. When you talk about statement wins, that's what you're getting out of Baker Mayfield. He is proving time and time again that I'm going to do whatever it takes.
insult to injury, just for the sake of saying it, because I've said over and over again, Cleveland did Baker Mayfield dirty.
They did.
So here we go. This season, Baker Mayfield has more fourth quarter comebacks than the Cleveland Browns have since 2016. He has more this season than they've had in 9 years.
Yeah.
Which is
Well, he
insane.
was the quarterback for 2 of them, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but still.
No. Well, so that was what, number 2?
Yep.
My number 2 is still the Eagles.
Okay.
They're playing well. They're doing everything they want to do. They may look a little lost. I think a lot of that is because their game planning is so damn much. Everybody's expecting Saquon to go crazy. Everybody's trying to triple team A.J. Brown. Goddard's not getting used like he should be, and I think that's a big piece of the puzzle. They start using him, I think it'll go back to a normal offense. The defense has definitely lost several steps. Steps. I like Zach Bond and the way he plays, or Bond, how the hell you say it. Usually plays pretty well. Reminds me of like Luke Kuechly, the way he flies around and makes plays. Not really doing it as much as he used to. Obviously, losing big play Slay out of the secondary is really affecting them.
That's huge.
Cooper DeJean doing his thing, but he doesn't have his other side covered like it was last year, and that's huge. I think that's why they're looking the way they are, and I really believe the Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl, to be honest with you.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So we agree on number 1.
We do.
Okay.
And everybody else in the freaking country.
It's the only number 1 you can
Yeah,
put.
like-
I don't see any other team you could put here.
Yeah.
So number 1 is the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions, yes. And I had them at number 3, so
I had them at number 3 also.
yeah, they moved up to secure the spot, and it's not even close.
No.
It's not even close. They are by far the best team in the league right now. They're doing everything they're supposed to do, except better.
Yeah.
Like,
And their only loss was to Green Bay.
Yeah.
And that was week 1. They're 4-0 since then.
Yep.
They've got the wins you want to see. They beat the Bears. They beat the Ravens, Browns, and Cincy. The way that they should.
I mean, where they beat the Bears, 52 to something?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, so that's the stuff we're talking about. They're putting up a 40-point win on teams they're supposed to put 40-point wins on. It's very hard to go against the double-headed backfield they have.
Oh, yeah.
D-Mont and Jahmyr Gibbs, amazing. Jared Goff is doing things that only Jared Goff can do.
12 touchdowns this year.
I
I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown is up there with leading the league in receiving touchdowns. Laporta looks good.
Yeah.
Defense is mean. Coach that's going to keep them in every game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought that the way that Dan Campbell beat the Bears was really not even against the Bears as so much as Ben Johnson.
Right.
And I would probably agree. Like, there are things he could have done differently and only won that game by like 30. Mm-hmm. But when you have a guy who you obviously respected and he left you for a head coaching job, which you're never going to hold anybody back, but we have a chance to win a Super Bowl with you, fuck off. That, in my opinion, is what happened there.
And, I mean, Ben Johnson not only left, but he cleaned out the coaching staff,
Exactly.
too. So,
Dan Campbell came in and was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm still better than you. I'm going to beat you in every way I can. That was a statement win.
it was. And the other thing is, like, when I looked at strength of schedule, the Chiefs obviously had the toughest schedule so far. Detroit was number 2.
Yep.
So they've got this record with, honestly, one of the toughest schedules. And the things we're seeing out of them, they're doing trick plays. I mean, David Montgomery threw a touchdown
Right.
pass to the backup tight end this week.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, they're comfortable enough with their offense that they're still throwing in tricks that everybody said that's Ben Johnson. Well, it's not Ben Johnson.
Right.
It's the Detroit Lions.
Right.
So, and what a turnaround. I mean, growing up as a kid, the Lions were a joke.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Oh, you want to play them because, they had no defense and you were going to watch Stafford and Megatron put up fucking 40 points. So,
Right.
No, I love it. I love a lot of the stuff. I mean, very comparable. We were a lot closer
They were
on some
pretty
things than I
close.
thought we were going to be. And I want to talk about 2 players.
Okay.
One being Matthew Stafford. Mm-hmm. This dude balls out with whatever wide receiver he can.
Yeah.
So the top 3 at this time, if Puka keeps up his pace, the top 3 wide receiver performances had the same quarterback.
Yeah.
That is nuts.
That is insane.
Like-
and imagine if he hadn't wasted all that time in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like, how successful would this guy be?
Well, hands
know.
down, he'd be one of the best ever, in my opinion, which I still think he could be.
He could be.
I mean, he was the fastest to 50,000, so,
Right.
And then I saw a weird stat today that kind of makes me think a little bit. Bryce Young is like top 10 in fourth quarter comebacks since he's been in the league,
Really?
and he only has 8 wins.
Wow. So, only place to come back?
Yeah, I guess. So it makes me think, why is he doing so poorly the rest of the time?
Right.
What's up there?
Maybe thrives under the pressure or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So obviously you said Baker Mayfield was your MVP if the season ended right now.
I think so. I think my backup option, and I hope I don't beat you to it, would be Jared Goff.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I was actually going to say Stafford. So
I like that too.
Stafford would be mine right now just because, I mean, it goes hand in hand. Puka's young. The rest of Devontae Adams is old. You got, Tyler Higbee. Same shit as Baker Mayfield, really.
Yeah.
So I guess throw a toss-up on which one's actually doing well with the no-name wide receiving core.
And I think that's kind of it. I think it depends on where they end the season.
Right.
Right now, I give the edge to Baker because he's worked through the injuries.
Okay.
Like, as of now, the Rams and the Lions haven't had those injuries. So Stafford and Goff are using the weapons they want to use. Baker's had to adjust.
Right.
But, and the one thing Baker has that Goff and Stafford don't have is a pair of legs.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
But I do think that Stafford absolutely should be in that conversation and Goff as well. So, also, fun stat I saw today. You know who has more tackles this year than Micah Parsons?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. to be honest
Travis
with you.
Hunter, who?
Wide receiver. So,
Jamar Chase is playing both sides of the ball.
yeah. So let's talk about that. Travis Hunter,
Yeah.
first person in NFL history to start both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it again.
60 snaps.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
like my legs would be falling off.
Yeah.
Like,
And he even got hurt at some point during that game.
did he?
I believe so, yeah. Well, he didn't get hurt. He had that catch where he took kind of a nasty fall. He left for, I think, the rest of that drive.
Okay.
But he ended up coming back.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it was something like he came up in the air and came down on that outstretched wrist. Crucial catch, huge catch. But, yeah, I can't imagine having the stamina to be able to play like
Right.
that.
No.
So,
Well, exciting. First 5 weeks. We're getting into the bye weeks, so now things can shake up a little bit.
yeah.
And well, like, follow, subscribe.
Until next time.
It's garage time.